And we're back with Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, before we get to North Korea, one more question on this investigation. The New York Times reported this week the president had made some calls up to the Hill about these investigations into Russian interference. Was that appropriate for him to make those phone calls?
I don't know what the content was, but he's never asked me to stop an investigation. Yeah, it would be inappropriate for the president to say, stop the investigation. It's not inappropriate to have a discussion in general. Again, I just want people to understand. Mike Flynn would know if there was collusion, in my view, between the Trump campaign and the Russians. There's no evidence of collusion yet. Nobody's been charged with collusion. The Manafort lawyer said there was no collusion. But if there was, Flynn would know, and we're going to know pretty soon one way or the other.
But on the larger question, you're not saying it's only about collusion, because there is this obstruction of justice question, which is quite important, and lying to the FBI.
A completely different, but that's not my focus right now.
Sure, I understand. Yeah. But I'm saying in general, that's not,
absolutely.
we don't want to overlook
absolutely.
that. North Korea. Where are we with North Korea right now?
We're getting close to a military conflict because North Korea is marching toward marrying up the technology of an ICBM with a nuclear weapon on top that can not only get to America but deliver the weapon. We're running out of time. McMaster said that yesterday. I'm going to urge the Pentagon not to send any more dependents to South Korea. South Korea should be an unaccompanied tour. It's crazy to send spouses and children to South Korea given the provocation of North Korea. So I want them to stop sending dependents, and I think it's now time to start moving American dependents out of South Korea.
How close? You say we're getting close to military confrontation. What are we talking about here?
The intelligence community can tell you that better than I can, but I had an extensive discussion with the administration about this topic. The policy of the Trump administration is to deny North Korea the capability to hit America with a nuclear-tipped missile, not to contain it. Denial means preemptive war as a last resort. That preemption is becoming more likely as their technology matures. Every missile test, every underground test of a nuclear weapon means the marriage is more likely. I think we're really running out of time. The Chinese are trying, but ineffectively. If there's an underground nuclear test, then you need to get ready for a very serious response by the United States.
Should the Congress be having a big open conversation about preemptive war?
Yeah, I think so. I think the President, as inherent authority as Commander-in-Chief, has the ability to strike North Korea to protect the American homeland. But this discussion needs to happen among ourselves.
Let me ask you about the President's team. There were a lot of back and forth this week about whether Secretary of State Tillerson was going to stay in the job. Do you, net, after all the reports and so forth is over, do you have confidence in the President's team around him to manage this tricky question?
He's got the best national security team of anybody I've seen since I've been in Washington. The President himself early on made the right decision. I'm not going to allow North Korea to hit America with a nuclear weapon. We're not going to live under that threat. If I have to go to war and I don't want to stop it, I will. Everybody before President Trump screwed it up, including Republicans. Now we need to get it right, and I think he's got the right approach. He's got the right team. I hope China will help us. We're running out of time.
All right, and we have run out of time, Senator. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be back in a moment.